To ooze or to boom? At least 26 homes have been destroyed by Hawaii's Kilauea eruption, which began last week and is still ongoing. But next to violent volcanic eruptions in places like Iceland, the US, or the Philippines, Kilauea's is actually rather gentle. The reason for this, according to scientists, is magma composition. The Hawaiian Islands sit atop a hotspot on the Pacific Plate, which has magma that's low in silica and therefore less viscous. Volcanic gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and water vapor can more easily escape in this type of magma. There is little pressure buildup, resulting in an effusive eruption. Other volcanoes, such as those on the Pacific Ring of Fire, typically occur where the oceanic plates meet the silica-rich continental plates. The high silica content results in highly viscous magma, which traps gas bubbles and causes the buildup of pressure that then results in explosive eruption. According to a Denison University volcanologist, it's possible groundwater can mix with the iron-rich lava in Hawaii to create more boom. That hasn't happened yet, and for the islanders' sake, here's hoping it never does. Volcano go boom. Bali's Mount Agung is ready to go bang. This is Bali's scenic Mount Agung volcano. It's been quiet for 5 decades, but experts are warning it's now ready to blow. Indonesian officials have marked several danger zones for a potential Mount Agung eruption and have evacuated over 75,000 people in the past days. According to The Guardian, hundreds of tremors have been noted near the volcano each day. If this trend continues, experts expect an eruption is imminent. The most deadly threat resulting from it would be pyroclastic flows, which is a superheated killer gas that lays waste to everything in its path and can travel up to 450 miles per hour. Check back with Tomo News for more on this developing story in the coming days.
Sometimes your only option is to run. When a volcano erupts big time, it spits out a fast-moving and incredibly destructive mass of material known as a pyroclastic flow. And according to the United States Geological Survey, if you ever find yourself in the path of one, you should run in the opposite direction and run fast. Pyroclastic flows are made up of a basal flow of volcanic ash, lava, rock, and gases, which move beneath a cloud of ash. Their temperatures can exceed 1,000 degrees Celsius, and they can move at 700 kilometers per hour. Typically, pyroclastic flows move downslope, but they can go uphill when the ratio of gas to ash is higher. This is known as a pyroclastic surge. These dense pyroclastic surges can even move over water. Pyroclastic flows generally destroy everything in their path, including vegetation, buildings, and people. There are generally 2 kinds of pyroclastic flow. The first type forms when an eruption column cools, and the ash becomes too dense to maintain an upward thrust. The second type is rarer, and occurs when so much pressure builds up inside a volcano that it erupts laterally and boils over. The last known example of this is when Mount St. Helens in Washington State erupted in 1980. So there you have it. If you ever happen to be near a volcano when it blows its top, now you know what to do.
Yet more flight chaos. Planning on flying around Southeast Asia this week? Well, you might be in for some delays. Indonesia's Mount Sinabung started spewing ash earlier this week, prompting the country to issue flight warnings. According to The Guardian, volcanic ash had been sent to heights of 7 kilometers. If ash comes into contact with aircraft engines, glass inside it can melt inside the combustion chamber. That can cause the plane's blades to stick together and stall the engine. Ash particles can also become lodged inside the pitot tubes, which are a plane's airspeed sensors. If blocked, they may provide pilots with false readings. Kaboom times 2. 2 super eruptions made the iconic Yellowstone caldera what it is today, not one. Researchers analyzed samples of shell sediment and volcanic ash from the Santa Barbara Basin. From these, they were able to determine that the Yellowstone caldera was formed by 2 volcanic eruptions 170 years apart. Each eruption was so powerful that it lowered the temperature of the planet and altered the climate. These 2 volcanic winters reportedly took place just as Earth was recovering from an ice age hundreds of thousands of years ago. That's pretty cool, right? Erupting volcano forces island-wide evacuation. Residents are being evacuated after a volcano on one of Vanuatu's northern islands began to erupt. The Manaro volcano in Ambae is a shield volcano whose summit features 3 crater lakes. The volcano began releasing ash and toxic gas in September and is now spewing rocks and lava amid repeated explosions. Many of the island's water sources are polluted by the eruption, leaving thousands without access to safe drinking water. Islanders are being ferried off the island by an assortment of ships and boats. Others have flown out to safety as the Vanuatu government wants all 11,000 residents evacuated by October 6th. The Manaro eruption poses a serious threat, especially with the possibility of deadly volcanic mud called lahar overflowing down the mountain. The volcano last erupted in 2005. Half of the island's population was evacuated and couldn't return until at least 3 months later.
Alaskan volcano eruption could mean trouble for planes in the air. The Alaska Volcano Observatory sent out a warning to all aircraft following an eruption at the Bogoslav volcano, the latest in a series of eruptions that first began in December 2016. Airlines were placed on high alert on Saturday after Alaska's Bogoslav volcano erupted at 10:15 a.m., spewing a cloud of ash more than 30,000 feet into the air over the Aleutian Islands. Once ash enters an aircraft engine, glass in the ash melts as it passes through the plane's combustion chamber, which operates at temperatures as high as 1,500 degrees Celsius. The molten glass particles then stick to the turbine blades and bring them to a standstill. This can cause the engines to stall. The particles in the ash can also block the pitot tubes, which act as airspeed sensors. The blockage would give the aircraft false airspeed readings, which could be overlooked by the pilots. A red alert was downgraded to orange on Sunday after no further ash emissions occurred.